Hi, guys. Okay, so I know, Mikey, you're watching this. I can't see the chat on my OBS screen, but I can see it. Like, I can see you guys chatting. So I can't see it on my main screen, but I have it pulled up over here. So if you see this and you want to come in and check on that, that'd be great. But I honestly don't think I can fix that. This is the same problem I had with the Facebook Lives. But I got you guys. I see you over here. It might be a little bit lagged, but happy Sunday. Daisha did ask me a minute ago. I sent the link out in a chat that we have, and she was like, "Oh, I thought it was every other week." And it is starting in February. So this is still January, our crazy last week of January. And then starting in February, it will be the first and third Sunday of every month at 7 p.m. So um just so you guys know. Okay, my ITS is coming. My support is on its way. So last week I could see it like over here and it's fine. I just pulled it up over here, but I don't know why it's not showing up.
It wasn't there.
Where was it?
It was
Is
in
there
like a
something
pop-up,
else?
probably.
I didn't close anything. Here?
Does it have multiple windows? No.
Mm-mm.
Maybe hit and then it was an extra pop-up that came up last time.
Yeah.
You'll have to mess with it.
Okay.
You drug it over, remember, and like docked it in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it didn't do that. Okay, whatever. I can still see you guys. I just might be a little late to the party answering your questions if you have them. Okay. Thank you, Mike. Happy Sunday. I'm so excited about all the posts that I've seen in the group. And what I'm most excited about this week is that I got in there, I was diving into our platform and saw the little like profiles you guys made. They're so cute where you like talked about like, oh, like this is how old I am. This is how my family situation and how long you've been running. And I love that this is tied to like our program where you guys had joined me initially. You know, we've been at this for 4.5 years, but where you guys had joined me initially, it tells me that when I click on members, like I can see how long you've been, like we've known each other or we've been training together. So that was super fun. And then reading through all of your profiles was really fun too. So I love that. And I honestly don't even have one yet. So I need to go in and update mine, but I loved getting to see you guys and getting to read through those. So that was fun. I really can't wait to see like what else I'll be able to do in there as far as just tracking you guys. I of course have my list of like people who I haven't necessarily seen on the platform yet that need to get their butts moving, get everybody moved in. So if you happen to see this right now and you're like, oh, she's talking about me, like if you're having trouble, let's connect. That was the point of me continuing to do lives every weekend in January, was to make sure I did my best to get everybody connected and in the group and knowing how to post. So I think everybody's there. I just know that there are some that have been a little bit quiet that need to nudge this week. But so many of you are getting in there and posting. And must say, I'm super proud of myself for actually posting all 3 of my workouts this week and getting them in. And you guys are doing so great, like with the comments and the support. I just love you guys. So wild that it is our last week in January. Like it really, I guess I didn't realize. I knew that we were coming out of like the longest, the darkest days, and that we were it was going to start staying lighter a little bit longer. But it's wild to think that as I looked at this and I was like, wait a minute, how many more lives do I have left in January? I was like, oh my gosh, this is our last January live, because I feel like we are in the in the thick of it, but also like there's light at the end of that tunnel. And some of the training videos that you guys are probably starting to get into that I'm making each week for you, depending on where you are. I know for a fact in the half marathon training coaching videos, I started talking a little bit about like the middle and how, sometimes when you get into the middle of something, it can be like that messy part that's kind of hard to push through, and giving yourself little milestones along the way is super helpful. And so this would kind of be that place, right? We're kind of on the tail end of what I would consider the middle of those dark, like training days. Like I feel like, moving into March, everybody feels like a little bit more hopeful. Like races start to pop up here and there, and it starts to be lighter and a little bit warmer here and there. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it snowed here not that long ago in March, but that's neither here nor there. I feel like we are heading into February, and this month goes pretty quick. Not to wish time away, but it's just, we are prepping and building that foundation for those beautiful days ahead of us. And I feel like we're doing it, like we're doing the thing. January is a tough month, and we are on the last week of it. So we have only been at this in our group for 4 weeks. Is this our 4th week? Sorry, I got to pull up the calendar. Make it make sense, Tina. 1, 2, 3. This is our 4th week of being in the new program and the new platform. And I just feel so good about it. And I feel like this is just, I don't know. I was very excited to see that, knowing that we're making moves, we're moving and grooving. To give you a quick little update on what I am doing, which I kind of told you guys before, but I have just been moving however I can, however I'm feeling it. So I know I've got some of you kind of on that bandwagon too of like moving your bodies. I've got some of you on some training plans. You're knocking out those miles, you're getting those long runs in, and you're chugging away. And the weather is tough. The weather is tough. The light is tough. You know, we're trying to stay motivated. Life is throwing, you know, some of us curveballs. We've got, you know, family situations going on that we're trying to navigate. But you're doing the thing and you're showing up and you're checking those boxes, and it feels so good to do that. Really, like there are huge benefits and gains and motivations that come along with, you know, picking those big goals and having these big miles and things like that just feel so good to check those boxes. But I want you guys to really, especially this time of year, especially during these months, to really just celebrate yourself for showing up. Like, I know that we're doing it in a lot of ways that it's like, hey, I had to do this because of this, or this happened because of that. And I know, Jeff, for instance, one of your runs that you had recently, he went out to run, his trail was covered in like ice, and he had to run kind of like on that side, this like a little sliver of grass, and just celebrating like the fact that you got out there. These months are all about building that resilience and just really kind of training ourselves, just like a muscle, right? We have to train ourselves to become resilient and shift that mindset from, you know, this is hard or it doesn't feel good or it's not ideal, to like, hey, I'm getting it done. I'm showing up, and it's not perfect, but that's okay. I am still showing up. And that's what we need to train ourselves to do, and to set those expectations for ourselves. And sometimes that means, you know, going to the gym, getting on the treadmill. Sometimes that means putting on a video and calling your mom and having her come over and kicking her butt into gear, like Daisha and Marlene did this week. And, you know, checking those boxes and moving and celebrating that movement. And this is all very new to me. And I told you guys before that I feel like this is part of like the reason behind why physically I've been going through what I go through, is to experience it and to feel it and to share that and teach that to you. Because there are many, many times whenever I was not in that mindset, and it was like run or bust. Like if I missed a run or if I wasn't doing a certain amount of miles, it's a wild, like to think back to what like the standards I set for myself, like if I wasn't doing this many miles, then did it even count? Or, you know, I wasn't doing good enough. It's wild. Like it literally had to break me of that. And now I can really see the value in moving your body, and for so many more reasons other than I have to, you know, reach this kind of, this, you know, I don't know, this level of running in order to be successful. And I'm running very little right now. I'm doing some strength training, doing a lot of walking. I called my sister today. I called Daisha, who I know she's here. Hi, Daisha. I should say hi to you guys too, but I know it's Daisha. Jeff, Mike is on here. I see you guys, we were laughing in the chat. I was like, oh my gosh, my whole family is on here. But I called Daisha today and I was like, listen, I literally woke up this morning in the worst mood. I was in such a funk, and I know you guys can relate to this. I feel like part of it is weather. I was super like, I know these days are good, but I don't do well with like non-productivity days when I'm just kind of like, I don't know, just doing what I would consider not necessarily what I want to do. And I just really kind of like checking out, you know, I talked about this before. And so I did that a lot yesterday, and I didn't feel great about it. It's not like I planned on having like a relaxing day. I literally just checked out for several hours. Then I woke up this morning. I was like, oh my gosh, I have so much to catch up on. I have so much to do. I know y'all have been there. And I was just like in a funk, and literally to the point where Mike woke up, he's like, oh no, he could just see it. And I'm like, stop it. So I went in my pajamas, like what I had slept in, or what I guess rather, like I put on some sweatpants and a sweatshirt when I woke up, and I was so grumbly, and I went downstairs, and like we have a fireplace that was going because we were expecting the huge snowstorm. It just rained here, by the way. And I looked over at the, you know, the couch and the fire, and I was like, oh, I'm just going to go back to where I, you know, left yesterday. And I'm just going to go check out again and just be in a funk. And then I was like, no, if I do that, I'm going to be done for the day. Like I'm literally going to just, and again, it's not about resting and recovering and relaxing. Those are all great things, great gifts that we give to ourselves. It was about checking out. I was just checking out of anything, my responsibilities, my connections, like all of it. I was just checking out. And it obviously didn't do me well because I feel like I was hungover from just checking out of life. And so I looked at it and I was like, I can't. So I went out to the garage and I put my shoes on, and then so we have a treadmill out in the barn, and I honestly had my rain boots on, and I was like, I'm just going to walk in this rain, but it was so wet and nasty and mushy and slippery. And I was like, fine, I'll just go to the treadmill. So I opened all the doors in the barn, hopped on the treadmill, and I just started walking, and I walked, and you guys know, you've heard me say this before, that I have so many times in my life just started running, and I would run until I just felt better, not so, witchy, if you will. And so I did that, except it was walking. I'm not in my running era right now. I'm still working on healing and that kind of thing. And I don't know if it's in the cards for me later, but now I'm in my walking era. So I literally got on there, and at first I was like miserable. I'm like, oh, this isn't even going to help. And I stayed on there until I stopped being in such a terrible mood. I just moved my body. And it's amazing what happens when you just move your body. So for me, it did take 40 minutes, and it changes. Sometimes it can take me 10 or 15. Sometimes it could take me longer than that. But it took me, it's funny. I timed it. I was like, okay, right now I feel like, okay, I can go and move through this day and I can move through it with gratitude, and I can move through it with patience and kindness and that kind of thing. And so I was like, okay, I'm good. I think I got out of it. Of course, I prayed the entire time because I'm like, oh, I just need all the things to help me. So I was praying and walking and praying and storming around. And it took me approximately 39 minutes to be exact, 9 minutes and 33 seconds. And I was like, okay, I'm ready to start this day. So in my same, rainbows and sweatpants and sweatshirt, I'd go back into the house, and I'm like, okay, I feel better now. I'm ready to take on this day. And so, that point, got ready, went to church, and then came home. And honestly, again, there was another point in this day where I was just having a moment. And I, again, went outside, went for a walk, and was like, okay, I need to regroup. And it's just it's so funny, because I think when you're in those moods or those modes, and it could be crippling anything. It could be, stress, frustration. It could be depression. It could be anxiety. But you hear people say oh, get out, move your body, and that can help you work through it. And you can, it can change and improve, But when you're in that mode, it's so hard to snap yourself out of it that you instantly just get annoyed by those comments. Oh, it's so annoying that someone would say, go for a walk, or go move my body, or go get outside. I don't want to. You just want to be I don't want to. I want to be, in this funk. But literally, if you can just get yourself to do that, to move, even though you don't believe it in the moment, you're never going to get out of this mood. It's amazing what moving your body does to make you feel better, to almost process those things a little bit quicker. For me, it's almost it clears my mind and helps me okay, I've got this. So Mike said I was going to check her out of the house. I know it was bad. And honestly, it was. But you guys, I know you can relate to it. You've all been there. And so maybe your friendly reminder, get a sticky note, jot yourself a note, reminding yourself, just say move your body, and put it somewhere so that you can remember, when you need to look at it, go move your body. And it doesn't have to be running. Running for me was the go-to for many, many years. Right now it's walking. It could be whatever it is, but move your body. If you can get outdoors, even better. If you can get that vitamin D, if you can get that fresh air, so much better. And so this brings me to the one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about tonight. Our little check-in was about the 10-minute rule, right? And there's this 10-minute rule. I was kind of researching a little bit before I got on here and clicked, the go live button. And the 10-minute rule applies to a lot of things. There are a lot of people who use a 10-minute rule as, kind of this, this caveat to certain situations. For those who are working on a project and they feel stuck in a place, there's a 10-minute rule. I forget who uses the 10-minute rule of give yourself 10 minutes to try to figure out the situation and the problem. If you can't, then get up and walk away from it. Don't let it linger and sit there, and drive yourself crazy. But there's the 10-minute rule also about moving your body, and this concept of that, listen, you guys, you are not going to be motivated most of the time. Honest to God. I'm not even going to say sometimes you won't be motivated. Most of the time, you will not be motivated to move your body. And those are just facts. Those are hard facts. Those are cold, hard truths. You are not going to be motivated. So my whole spiel about you cannot sit around and wait for motivation to come to you. You cannot think yourself into being motivated. You cannot wait for okay, I'm just going to sit here and relax. But when the mood strikes, it's very rarely going to strike. And when it does, take advantage of it, because that's not going to happen. The majority of the time, you're not going to be motivated. And so the thing is, you have to go get that motivation. You actually have to start the movement before the motivation comes. You guys have heard me talk about this before, but the 10-minute rule just applies to commit to moving for 10 minutes. If you're still miserable after 10 minutes, then be done and quit. And it costs 10 minutes, right? 10 minutes of your life. 99.9% of the time, once you've given it 10 minutes, you're good to go. The motivation is there, you're moving, the blood is flowing, and you feel good. You oftentimes end up doing more than you even anticipated you were going to do because you are moving. So my advice to you is to use this 10-minute rule to break through any type of barriers that you're facing in these dark days, in these wet days, in these wintry days. Use the 10-minute rule. Okay, you're not going to be motivated. Go get your motivation. Go get it. The good news is it does come to you. Like you're not inept or it's not unavailable to you. Motivation is available to you, but you got to go get it. You got to stand up. You got to put the shoes on. You got to start moving. 10 minutes and the motivation will come. Sometimes it comes even sooner. Sometimes it will come within 2 minutes. Sometimes it will come, within 5 or 6, but 10 minutes. And I guarantee you guys will find the motivation that you're looking for and hopefully not sitting around waiting for because it ain't coming. It ain't coming. And if you listen to a lot of people who naturally have like these physically regimented routines, right? These healthy habits that you guys are creating and building right now, like you are those people. If you really dig down into it and you think to yourself, you reflect on how your week has gone, how your workouts have gone, and you ask yourself, like, how many of these and how many workouts was I actually like super motivated? Like, okay, like I'm gonna do this. Like, how many of those do you actually feel motivated for? And how many of those did you drag your butt out of the house, put your shoes on, get dressed, and just start moving before you actually began to enjoy it? And you need to remember that. I want to rewire that brain. And it's honestly a cognitive behavioral therapy, which I love, a little CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy strategy. That whole concept of like the movement, the action is what will create those healing properties that will help you to work through some of those emotions and some of those feelings like anxiety and depression, like taking action first before you want to take action, doing the thing before you are craving the thing, actually getting started before you want to get started. Like those are the things that will keep you moving, get you moving and keep you moving. And that's where you're going to get that piece of like, okay, this can be a part of my life. So do the thing first and then ask yourself, am I motivated? So you're not going to say like, okay, your question to yourself is not going to be, do I feel like running today? The question to yourself needs to be, am I running today? Is it on my schedule? Do I have a planned run today? And if it is, motivated or not, you're going to take those 10 minutes and you're going to start and see what happens and go from there. Go from there. Just remind yourself, you can quit. You can quit in 10 minutes if you want. Just give it 10 minutes. And so for those of you who are stuck in, the house, we've got so much weird kind of winter weather situations going on. I highly recommend getting on YouTube and popping on one of those videos that if you can, there are running, there are dancing, who cares? Move your body if you can't get out there. Now, I'm a huge advocate of getting uncomfortable and doing the hard things. And if it is like just kind of, well, it's a little chilly, like get out and do it anyway. Get out there and do the thing anyway, because it's going to build that resilience muscle, which we need to have. But I also know there are conditions that don't allow for that. There are just literally physical limitations to you being able to get out and move your body. So you have two options. You can go out like in your snow boots and you can give yourself like a good solid walk. You can set the timer versus any type of distance or intervals. Just literally time yourself and say, hey, I'm going out for 30 minutes to move my body through the snow. Or whatever the weather is for you, the rain, love a little rain run. Or you can pop on, go to YouTube, search for a walking video. Daisha loves them. I'm sure she can share them within the group. You can even pick your distance. You can do like a 1 mile, 2 mile, 3 mile walking video. And they're about a 15-minute mile each. So depending on how much time you have, you can say, okay, I have 30 minutes. And you can look up one of those videos and do it right in your living room. But don't stop moving. Don't stop moving. And I feel like if we have this in our back pocket, it's a great deterrent from those things like the weather is really bad. Like either it's super cold or the snow is so deep, like there's no way for me to even move around out there, or it's super icy. That's a little tricky. Certainly if you have, the equipment, the types of shoes that you can wear. I know that I did get those at one point, those things you can strap onto your shoes that keep you from slipping. They have like the metal, I don't know what they're called. They have like metal things that you slip over your shoes and that keeps you from slipping. I do highly recommend you guys work on those, what is that? it's not really resiliency, but like, doing those uncomfortable things, embracing that discomfort and allowing yourself to grow through that, it feels really good. But whenever all else fails, and you're like, look, I will be happy just to, I don't know, just to get off the couch, or if I can just get myself motivated to do a load of laundry or whatever it is, then pop on a video of some sort and move your body. I love the walking videos. Like there are some that actually have jogging intervals in them too. Like you're jogging up and back in your living room or circling around. You're moving, you're doing side to side, you're doing some lunges, you're getting your muscles moving, you're activating all of those good things that we are ultimately chasing. We're ultimately chasing those endorphins. We're chasing that healthy lifestyle. We're chasing those healthy habits. And this will help you to do it even when things feel dreary and difficult and just blah. Okay. So that is my advice for you today, this week, is to use the 10-minute rule, you guys. And here's one more thing that I want to share. Before we wrap up for the night is that I want to encourage you to, especially in these months, especially when our bodies just need kind of like movement. We're not getting that sunlight every day. We've kind of got to push through these things. So thinking about my kids when they were little, we used to do shower time or bath time, whatever, when they were little every other day. So it would be a thing where it's like, okay, one day on, one day off. It's just what we did when they were little. And then we realized on all of those off days, on those on days, those bath days, what a nightmare it was to get them to get in the bathtub to take a shower because they didn't have to do it the day before. So they were like, oh, I thought it was an off day. I don't want to, and it was a nightmare to the point where there was a moment when I said, that's it, we're done. It will be every single night, come rain or shine. Like it'll be a bath night every single night, because I felt like that up and down and off and on was creating this sense of like the I don't have to, or I didn't have to last night and I really would rather not. And I said, so it was just the rule. It just became the rule that it was every night, no matter what, it was going to be shower time, bath time, whatever. And it was a game changer. Now, initially there was, the resistance when we worked into this new habit. But once we created this, like there is no questions asked, this is what's happening. And for us, it usually happens around, I would say 7 p.m. At least it did when we started this. So 7 p.m. every night of the week, we were going to start our routine of shower, bath, whatever. And there are zero complaints. Now, we've continued this for years. My kids are 11 and 8. And we have done this for so many years that there's no question about, like, it's literally just like, okay, it's shower time, it's time to go. Do they complain sometimes? Yes, but it was a game changer. And the reason is because we took the questions, we took the nonsense out of it. We stopped having the debate. There was no longer this, will I move or will I not move? Sorry, will I shower, will I not shower? And I want you to consider applying this strategy to your own life and your own habits if you're struggling to show up on the days when you say you're going to show up. And so what I would tell you to do, okay, and I'll take this kind of with a grain of salt, but what if we decided at a certain time every day we were going to move our bodies? Now, I am not an advocate of having workout days every day of the week. I think that's too much. I think that you're going to live your life feeling like a failure because you're not going to be able to show up for all of those days every single week. But what if instead of, I'm not saying that you schedule a workout every day of the week, but what if we committed to a certain time of the day when you just moved your body? Now, maybe that looks like taking a walk around your house. Maybe that looks like taking a walk around your block. Maybe it looks like parking farther away from the building and walking farther, or doing a lap around your building before you go in. But there was this commitment to move a little bit more than you have been. And it was an everyday kind of situation. So hear me out. I feel like this might be something that can help get you out of your funk, because then you can start to feel like this is just a non-negotiable, moving my body. As time goes on, I imagine if you're having any type of resistance to, the dark days of the winter, the weather is a problem for you, but you start making a non-negotiable, like, okay, I'm going to move every time at this day. I'm going to take a lap around the house. I'm going to go to the cul-de-sac and back. I'm going to take a lap around the block, and you committed to that every single day, then suddenly you would feel so much more inspired and motivated, right? It's like that whole 10-minute situation. And then on your 3 days a week, when you wanted to check off those workouts, on the days that you felt inspired from the movement, you could do a little bit more on those 3 days. Heck, if it just ends up being those few minutes every single day, you're winning. You're winning, because right now it can be a struggle just to get out and move at all. So hear me out. Think about it. If you are struggling in any way trying to move your body, what if you just decided it would, please hear me. I'm not telling you to do a workout every single day. I'm telling you to move your body, to do a little bit more than you would. Maybe you're walking in place while you're watching a show. Just maybe you're literally walking to your mailbox and back 2 or 3 times, but you decided that movement is a non-negotiable. It's a non-negotiable. It's something that you can't tap out of. It's something that you can't decide you're not going to do. It is a non-negotiable. And then let's go from there. Let's make it something that you naturally incorporate into your life. And then let's start talking about like, okay, are we showing up for those goals? Am I getting those 3 workouts in? Like, what am I doing? What am I looking at? And let's just see if that makes a difference for you. And I do have to tell you, that's something that I've been trying to do in my own life. And it has helped tremendously with just keeping me inspired to keep moving. It doesn't look, literally for me, sometimes it means walking to the end of our driveway and back. Sometimes it means taking the dog on a little walk through the cul-de-sac and back. But it's just movement every day of some sort that's more than what it used to be. Whether you want to count steps, whether you want to count minutes, ask yourself, what do I have? Do I have 10 minutes in my day that I can squeeze in? Do I have 10 minutes? If I have 10 minutes, I'm going to use that 10 minutes. I'm going to move for 10 minutes, non-negotiable, every day for 10 minutes. Do I have 5 minutes? I'm going to move for 5 minutes. 5 minutes is better than no minutes, non-negotiable. And then you just become an active person, right? Like in your mind, you just become more of a mover. You find more ways to fit moving, incorporating that into your life. You can, do it in so many ways. But if you're struggling to just show up for yourself and to show up for your workouts, I encourage you to give it a go. Give it a go and see how it feels. Okay. Sorry, I got to look over here at the chat for a second. Daisha, you should put the links. Yes, Daisha, put some links in there. Daisha's a walking video YouTube connoisseur, which is why she's trying to get me to make some of my own so that we can have them for the team. She said, just search walk at home and you can search for anything you want, 1, 2, or 3 miles. I park far. Yes, Mike, you park far away all the time. But I don't think it's because you want extra steps. I think it's because you want to drive me crazy. They said there are 1-mile videos for 15 minutes that I do when I really don't feel like doing anything. Yes, these videos are helping me build habits without being too demanding. 100%. 15-minute videos that you can pop on, walk in place for 15 minutes, and then it just lets you check that box, and it's helping you build those habits and build that relationship with yourself and build that identity of like, hey, I'm a mover. Like I am healthy. I'm a mover. Like that's what I'm going to do. The joke between Mike and I is that he has this truck and it is hard to park, and he bases everything about where we are, where we're parking on how to park this truck. And so even though we could pass up 400 amazing spots, and I'm not even saying they have to be super close. Sometimes I like to pick the spots that are just kind of empty so you can swing the doors open and just, have all the room. And so it's always a point of contention when we're parking, and I always have comments to make. And yeah, so anyway, that's our thing. That's a thing. All right, you guys. So just to recap. So if I haven't seen your face within the group, you need to get in there, get on there. And I want to see your face in their posting. For those of you who have, thank you. You're doing an amazing job. I'm super proud of you. If you need help, please let me know. You guys are going to start with the 10-minute rule, this week. So if it feels difficult, remember you're not going to be motivated. Rarely anybody ever is, even those people who are showing up consistently every day. Most of the time, they're not motivated. They're just moving, and then they're finding that motivation. So give it 10 minutes and see how you feel. If you can get outside in that weather and move your body, even better. Do what you can to get outside and move your body. But if you can't, moving at home is perfectly acceptable. We just want to make sure we're moving. If you're really in a funk and you're really struggling and you don't know, you cannot get yourself to show up for yourself at all, I encourage you to try to pick one time every single day and move for just a few minutes. Non-negotiable, make yourself a mover, build those habits and that identity that creates this sense of self that like, hey, I am active, I am a mover, I'm finding time for this. And it's going to be a game changer for you, a non-negotiable. And then once you get into that habit and you start showing up for yourself as a mover, you can start looking at how to incorporate those habits that will help you move closer towards your running/walking/fitness goals. Okay. All right, you guys. He said, maybe you should drive. Maybe I should. All right. I love you so much. Have an amazing week. Keep those posts coming. You guys are doing an incredible job. If you need anything, please reach out to me. If you're struggling with tech, please reach out to Mike. We got your back. We're here. We're here for you. We're still making videos. Don't forget to watch your coaching video. Don't forget to use your tracking chart. Don't forget to jot down all the things that you're feeling in your journal. If you have one, I highly encourage it. You can even jot down how the workouts are going on your tracking chart to keep track of how you're doing. Don't forget get those green check boxes as you're completing your workouts. And don't forget to spend a few minutes a week showing some love to your soulmates because it makes them feel amazing and it makes you feel awesome too. All right, you guys, I love you. Have an amazing week. And I will see you next Sunday. It'll be the first live in February, and then we'll move to every other week. So next Sunday here on YouTube. Bye, guys.